this a couple different ways. You can just have your strap just off to the side here. If you don't have any blocks or your back is feeling really sensitive, you can just use a pillow. Okay. And it's just going to support under your shoulder blades. And my pillow is pretty big, so my head actually is still on the pillow, but if you can have it, if your head is off the pillow, that's fine as well too. You just want to make sure you're just letting this nice open chest, nice big open rib opener, also opening up, creating space for the lungs. Okay, so you can do that version with a pillow. Okay. Or you can do it with one block on the lowest level. And again, you just want to make sure your head is supported. This will be right underneath the shoulder blades. And then again, head, just you want to make sure it touches the ground in some way. Yeah. And then if you have two blocks, you can set them up, one on the highest level and one on the medium height. Okay. And again, you're welcome to change the levels here. Okay. And then again, first block closest to you is going to, again, support you under the shoulder blades, okay, so that you're in the supported back bend. And then the block behind that is your little pillow block, so your head can rest. And again, it's touching the block, right? Your head's not hanging. That's the most important. And then you can choose whatever you want to do with your legs. Legs can be bent. Legs can be straight. You can bring the soles of your feet together, knees out nice and wide. If you want to come into a double opener here, chest opener and hip opener, yogi's choice. Okay, just allowing ourselves just to take up space, to have a moment, to come into our bodies. Good, and then also be in a pretty vulnerable position, right? If we've been working all day, maybe we've been at a desk, seated, maybe hunched over a little bit, right? So now we're in like this really big opposite position that we've spent all day in, just reversing the effects of all of that. Good. So again, listen to your body, listen to what you need. If you need to ease out of this or soften, lying on the floor is absolutely fine. Let's just come into our breath here. So take a nice big deep inhale in through your nose and take a big exhale out through your mouth. Inhale in through your nose. Big exhale out through your mouth. Good. Inhaling in. Big exhale out. Taking a few more just like that, or when you're ready, practicing breathing in and out through your nose as best as you can. And just notice how, as you begin to focus on your breath, maybe your mind becomes a little quieter. Your brain can relax. And we move from the state of doing to the state of being present, being with our breath, being with our body. And that's so much easier said than done. So even though I will be guiding you through a physical practice, you can really begin to sense what your body is asking of you and what it needs, tuning into those sensations. Okay, so worrying less about shapes tonight and going off pure sensation. So a few more moments just like this. freeing up the chest, the lungs, and the ribs. Keep softening the brain. Okay, great. Yeah, of course, feel free to change your leg position if you need to. I'm going to ground my feet, knees point up towards the sky. And then we're going to start with just a few arm circles here. And again, these can be small. You can move, however feels good here. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my arms just down by my hips. I'm going to slowly reach my arms up towards the ceiling and then maybe gently back behind me a little bit. And then I'm going to slowly open up the arms out nice and wide. Okay, being mindful of like my plant. Okay, and then I'm going to circle down by my hips. And I'm just going to repeat that again just a few times. Okay, stay in any sweet spots that you feel like you might need. Any areas that feel a little tight, you can definitely hang out there. Okay, good. Just moving around in this direction. Again, elbows can even be bent here. These can be really small circles also. Okay, and then we'll slowly begin to reverse the circle, only if you're ready. However, if you want to spend a little more time there, go for it. Okay, so just reversing the circle, and again, spend some time where you feel some tension. And remember, you can play with sizes, you can play with your arms being bent or straight. See what changes. Okay, awesome. And then when you feel nice and complete, arms can just lower down by your hips. We'll gently just roll off to one side. Okay, so gently just off of your pillow or block. And you can kind of clear the space behind you. Okay, and then we'll make our way back onto our backs. And then just notice like how your back feels, the space that you created in that upper back, and slowly extend the legs out nice and long. We'll reach our arms up over our head. Again, just give yourself a nice big stretch here. Okay, good. And then slowly just go ahead and bend the knees back in, planting the feet on the ground. Okay. From here, we're going to lift the hips up and over to the left. Okay, so hips lift, slide them over to the left, and then we'll let the knees fall over to the right for a nice big twist. Okay, and just for me personally this week, my sacrum's been my low back's been acting up just a little bit. Okay, so I'm actually going to take that blocker pillow and I'm going to place it in between my knees. Okay, so that I feel really supported. My inner thighs are engaged. And then I'm going to extend this left arm out nice and long. Okay, and this just really helps, like, kind of just set my hips for me personally. Okay, so again, option to use the blocker pillow or not. Okay, and then we'll just hang out here in this twist. Focus can be up towards the sky or over towards the left hand. And just breathe. Enjoy this twist. And again, just undoing all that we've done all day to our bodies. Even if you are in a job where you're pretty active, like taking a moment of stillness and allowing yourself just to stretch is so good, right? Whether we're sitting or standing all day, just taking this time to unwind. Okay, great. Inhale in, exhale, gently release, just bringing your legs back to the center. Okay, and your hips back to the center. Just take a moment. Okay, notice how the left side feels. And then we'll go to the other side. Okay, so the hips are going to lift up towards the sky and shift to the right. Knees will gently fall to the left. And again, you can use your prop if you'd like. Good. Right arm reach all the way out to the right. Just breathing, noticing how this side maybe feels different. Maybe it feels the same. Can you still tune into your breath to let your mind just begin to quiet down, settle? Okay, really nice. Inhale in, exhale, gently release, bringing your body all the way back to the center. And again, you can move that block or pillow just out of the way. Okay, good. And again, just settle up, right? So again, that you're just like nice and square and flat to the mat, okay? And then we're gonna do something similar, okay? So we're gonna lift the hips. We lift them up to the right already and then went to the left. Okay, so we're gonna lift the hips up and go to the left. Okay, I know it's very right, left, right, left. So hips up to the left, settle them down. Okay, from here, we're gonna straighten the legs out. Okay, so they're gonna be on the diagonal. Arms can reach up over your head, or you can interlace your hands behind your head. Okay, and here we are in that side banana shape. Okay, so we're side bending to the right. Okay, we just kind of came into it a little bit differently with the hips shifting over. Okay, if you want to intensify this, you can take this left ankle, this left leg, and cross it over the right ankle. Okay, and then again, here we are just in that nice big side body stretch on the left side. Okay. Usually we come into this posture through like my little our little X position, okay, but just wanted to try something a little bit different to see if it gets into the side body a little more, maybe even the IT band. And remember, the back side of your body is flat to the mat, okay, so we're not rolling onto the right side. My left hip is on the left back of my hip, my left glute's on the ground just as much as my right. My left shoulder blade's grounded also. Good. Inhale in. Exhale, we'll gently unwind, okay? And again, just kind of bringing the legs in, bringing the hips back to the center. Just pause for a moment. Okay, and then we'll switch sides. So hips lift up and over to the right. And then from there, legs straighten out. When they straighten out, because your hips are off to the side, they'll lengthen out to the left diagonal. And again, arms can reach up over your head, or you can interlace the hands behind your head for a nice little side banana stretch. Good. Making it a little more intense. Right ankle over, ooh, the left. Oh my goodness. And just breathe here. Of course, ease out of it if you need to. Right? You don't have to move your hips like completely over to the right. It can be a small degree of just changing the angle up. Okay. Yeah. A few more deep breaths on the side. Oh, this side is tight. Okay, inhale in, exhale, gently release. And again, just kind of bending everything in, coming back to the center, just nice and slow. Okay. Arms can reach down by your sides. We'll set up here for just a little baby bridge pose. Okay, so feet can be hip distance apart. Heels are a little bit farther away, so you cannot touch the backs of your heels. Okay, so you can always touch the backs of your heels and then kind of scoot your toes forward, like 2 or 3 scrunches. Okay, from here, we're going to lift the hips up towards the sky. Okay, keep the bottom part of your rib cage sealed together. So we're creating this nice long diagonal. Knees are the highest point, then the hips, and then the shoulders are the lowest. Okay, you can walk your shoulder blades underneath you if you'd like to keep opening up through the chest. Good. Think about the energy. Instead of going towards your shoulders, see if you can shoot out energy out towards your knees. So again, like that nice diagonal out. And then from here, we're going to lift our toes up off the mat. Okay. And just breathe. Good. Engaging those glutes and hamstrings. See if you can lift your hips up just a pinch higher while maintaining that energy out through your knees. Ribs are in. So much to think about. Ground the toes. Lift the arms up over your head. Okay, so back behind you. Just pause here for a moment. Woo, feel those legs kick in. Good. Gently lower the arms. Nice straight arms back down towards the ground, and then slowly lower your hips down towards the earth. Good. And then just little window wipers here, just back and forth. Okay. And then we're going to move into a version of happy baby pose. Okay. But I want you all to think about it as child's pose. Okay. So it's going to just be a little different. So all we're going to do is fold the knees into our chest. Okay. And instead of, you're really opening out the feet out, we're going to bring our big toes together. Okay. So it's kind of like a little diamond. From here, you'll probably have to lift up your head. You're going to reach your arms behind the hamstrings and the knees. If you can interlace your hands, awesome. If not, you can just hold on to the backs of your knees and then slowly just start to lower your head down. Okay. And then again, this is really like recline child's pose. Okay. So you can just think about when you're in child's pose, right? Big toes together, knees out nice and wide. Okay. Dropping the tailbone down, lengthening the spine. Okay. If you want to move a little bit here from side to side, great. Good. And of course, if this version of happy baby pose does not feel good, okay, right? Like, don't do it. Okay. Listen to your body. Okay. We're just trying something new for tonight. This little version here. My hope is that you're getting a nice little massage through the front of your hip flexors as you're hugging in here. Okay, any degree. Okay. And again, bringing that length through the spine as best as you can. Okay, inhale in, exhale, slowly release. And again, we're just going to roll over onto one side. It does not matter which side. Pause for a moment. And then use your arms and your legs to help you come on up. Okay. And then we're just going to straighten our legs just out in front of us. Okay. You guys can see my legs like this. I feel like my camera's so far away, I can't see my feet. But I'm just going to wag my feet in and out. I can't tell if I can cut off or not. Okay, so we're just going to wag our legs back and forth, really moving from our hip sockets. Yeah, so just wagging the legs. Yeah, and you can sit up tall if you want to. You can sit back. Again, whatever feels good here. Really just noticing like where the movement's coming from as you're wagging in and out. Can you feel it all the way up into your hip sockets? Does one side move better than the other? Okay, good. And I'm just gonna flex the ankles and then point the toes. Flex and point. Good. Again, you're welcome to slowly back flex and point. And then we're just gonna add a little, just a little footwork here. Okay, so we're gonna flex through the feet. We're going to curl the toes. Then we're gonna point the toes down, and then we're gonna release, flex the toes, flex the ankles, curl the toes, point the toes down, and we're just gonna go back and forth just like this. Again, you can go slow, you can go fast. Good. Curling the toes, pointing the toes, good. Mhm. Yeah, again, just kind of noticing where you're feeling this in your foot. Are you feeling it in your ankle? Are you feeling it in your toes? Are your feet getting kind of crampy? Kind of just check out where you're feeling this movement. Okay. And then we're going to reverse it. Okay. So we're going to start with the toes pointed. We're going to pick up like that pencil. We're going to grip the toes and then we're going to flourish the toes to flex up. So we're going to point, curl up, release the toes, point, curl the toes, roll up, and then flex. Point, curl, roll up, just back and forth. Feeling the ankles work, waking up those toes, ankles and calves. Good. Try not to think about it too much and just kind of just do the movement. Get those toes to relax and move. Okay, good. Shake it out again. Whew. You can even bounce the calves, bounce the legs a little bit. Okay. From here, we're going to see if we can flex the toes and see if you can spread your toes out nice and wide. And relax. Spread the toes out nice and wide. Relax. Spread the toes out nice and wide. And relax. Toes out nice and wide. And relax. Okay, and again, nice little shake out. Okay, one last little thing. Okay, this one's a little bit hard for me. Okay, so I may not demonstrate it the best, but we're gonna kind of alternate our toes. So we're gonna let our big toe press forward, okay, away from you. And then you're gonna switch, bring your big toe back and let your other toes go forward. Okay, so toes go away from you. And then big toe comes towards you as your other toes move away. So just gonna move back and forth as best as you can. Good. Sometimes you gotta really look at your toes and like really say like, do this. Because sometimes they just want to do their own thing. Okay, so just keep moving the toes. Just back and forth. A few more times. Right. Okay, good. And a nice little shake out. Good, really, really nice. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and bring the soles of our feet together, knees out nice and wide. Good. And we'll just roll the shoulders back just a few times. Good. We're going to extend the left leg out nice and long out to the side here. Right sole of the foot in the inside of the left inner thigh. Okay, and again, option to use the blocks. Okay, pillow. We're going to just drop this left arm in the inside of the left leg. And again, whatever height you need, you're just going to prop yourself up so that you can rest your head into your hand. Your head into your hand. Yeah. So again, whatever degree that is. Okay. Right hand can rest just gently in front here. It can also rest behind your back. I personally have been really enjoying just using the right hand against my right leg and then feeling that nice stretch here. Okay. We're going to hold this. Yes, this is like my new favorite little stretch. You're welcome to close your eyes. I'm still experiencing a little bit of like vibration in my left leg, like my left calf a little bit from the little ankle exercises. Okay. So just kind of noticing that blood flow as we're holding here. Let your breath move through your whole body. And then know you can always ease out of this too if it's a little too deep for you, because we're going to hold this a little bit longer than we want to. Okay. Yeah. So again, remember you can go deeper or you can ease out of this also. Good. Again, just quieting the mind, quieting the body, just allowing yourself to be. Okay, really beautiful, everyone. Take your time, okay? You're going to use, your arms in any way to help you kind of come out of this posture. Okay, go nice and slow. Okay, and then we're just going to circle. You're going to flex through the left ankle, okay? We're going to circle the ankle just a couple times, maybe 3 or 4 times in one direction. Okay, and then we'll circle in the opposite direction. Notice that the floor is getting in the way a little bit. Just be patient. Okay, great. Okay. And then we're just going to slowly just come back into the other, go into the other side. Okay, but before we go into the other side, we're going to come back to soles of the feet together, knees out nice and wide. Go and grab hold of your ankles. We'll arch up, look up towards the sky. And then exhale, we'll round the spine. So we'll just move a little bit through cat and cow. Seated here. And if you're so inclined to, you're welcome to expand this. And then maybe you start to make circles with your body. Remembering to reverse the direction as well. Be a little playful here in your cat and cow. Okay, wonderful, everyone. Okay, we'll go ahead and go into the second side. Okay, right leg out nice and long, just out to the side. Okay, and then left foot to the inside of the right inner thigh. So even though your right leg's moving out to the side, it's not really directly out to the side, right? It's still going to be a little like on this diagonal here. So I want to make sure your sit bones are grounded on the mat. Okay, and then the right hand is just going to lower down the inside of the right leg, and then again, any degree prop you need, chair, okay, to rest your head in your hand is awesome. Okay, and again, we're going to hold this maybe a little bit longer than we want to. Okay, so get comfy, let this top arm relax in front, relax behind. You can do a combo of all three of these, or you can press that left hand into your left leg. Okay, and again, just really focusing on the lengthening of that side body. So we're just going into like a little deeper stretch of our banana stretch, right? And even though we're not going to do this today, but you can even think about this when we come up into our standing postures, when we come into extended side angle, triangle pose, okay, that extension, that length of the side body here. Okay. And again, you can close your eyes, breathe deeply. Yourself to relax as best as you can. I know it can be a little intense holding a posture. Nice full deep breaths. Try not to hold any tension or gain any tension while you're holding. See if you can let that go. Really nice. Few more deep breaths in. And make sure we're nice and even from that first side. Good. Take a nice big deep inhale in. Big exhale out. And again, slowly take your time to come on out of this side. Okay. Good. And then again, while you make your way up, you can go and flex your foot. And then you can slowly start to circle that right ankle again, 3 or 4 times. Okay, or more is fine. Okay. Just circle it. Good. And then we'll reverse the circle. Okay, awesome, y'all. Okay. And then literally nothing fancy. We're gonna come up to standing and we're gonna just meet in a forward fold. There we go. I can spit it out, I promise. Okay, so get up however you want to. Feet can be hip distance apart or wider. Okay, and then we're just gonna hang out here in this forward fold. My forward fold, my knees are, pretty bent here, just, because, we haven't really done too much leg stuff. Okay, so anything that feels good, hands on the ground, blocks. You can hang on to opposite elbows. You can gently sway from side to side. Good. I really want this to feel a lot like a little bit of traction for the spine. So that's why when you keep your knees bent, you can really let your spine lengthen down towards the ground and find a little bit of release. Okay. Maybe in between the vertebra. Okay. Just maybe. Okay. It really depends on how tight we are, right? We might only feel this in the backs of our hamstrings. Can't feel it much anywhere else, or vice versa, right? You only feel this in your low back, so you want to bend your knees even more so you feel really supported there. Okay, good. From here, we'll release our arms and then we'll bend our knees to slowly roll up to come all the way up to standing. Again, you can use your hands to come all the way up. Great. And then we're just going to play a little bit of just moving our weight back towards our heels and then towards our toes. Just kind of shifting our weight forwards and backwards a little bit. Letting your head just be nice and heavy. And then we'll change that into shifting from left to right. Letting the hips move. Notice how you start to move on the different edges of your feet, right? You're on like the outside edge, and then you kind of roll into the inside, back and forth, kind of just noticing that as well. We're just going to do a few more balancing leg. It's really meant to like kind of charge up the legs a little bit. And then we'll get into some hips and hamstrings, okay? Okay, so again, this is, kind of a little bit of a different practice for us tonight. Okay, we'll kind of let that settle and come back to just a mountain pose. So we're going to start by grounding through our left foot. And again, if your balance feels off, you're welcome to do this next to something you can hold on to, okay? But we're gonna lift the right knee up. And all we're gonna do is set the right foot back behind us. And then when you set it behind you, okay, don't think so much of like triangle or pyramid pose, okay? So you wanna keep your foot and toes like facing parallel as best as possible. And my left leg is bent, and then you're just gonna shift your weight just forward and backwards, just like that, okay? So right knee lifts, and then I'm stepping my right foot back, and when I step back, my left knee bends, okay? And I'm just gonna be going back and forth just like that, okay? Hope that you can see it okay on here. Hands and arms can be wherever you want. You can reach them up towards the sky, especially here at first. Doesn't have to be a giant step back. Okay, we're gonna feel this left leg really work. Okay. And then of course, we're gonna grounding and rolling through the foot as well. Okay. Whew. Okay, we're gonna start to move our arms like we're walking, okay? So your opposite arm and leg are gonna lift up, and then opposite arm grounds. Okay, so you're just gonna move a little bit, finding this walking pattern that you do every day, nice and slow. Okay, or whatever pace, right? But just kind of matching your arms and legs like you're walking. And again, just let your head be soft, your head, your neck. Okay, nice, everyone. Good. Ooh, I don't know about you, but my left leg is burning. Okay, the next time our right heel is down, we're gonna just keep it down. Okay, hold there. And again, left knee still bent. Okay, and then we're just gonna lift the right heel up and lower down. We're gonna lift it up and down. Good. Again, it's just all about this transferring of the weight. Good. And balance. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, abs are engaged, and 1. Good. And then slowly just step on up into Tadasana mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back, turn the palms up towards forward here. Okay. Yeah. Just take a moment. Okay, good. And then we're just gonna go straight to the second side. Okay. Well, same pattern. Okay, you can start out nice and slow. Maybe hands are on the hips first as you step the left foot back. And then again, you can always, your bearings are going to be a little bit different on this side. Know that you can step wider, right? So you don't have to, again, be on this like tightrope. You can always step your left foot out to the left if your balance feels off, right? So just step wider, okay? But just try to keep those toes as parallel as possible, okay? Have a nice soft head, neck, and again, our core is engaged. You'll know when it's not if you fall over, right? All right, and then we'll start to add running man arms. Okay, just like how we walk. This side's a little bit harder for me. I've sprained this ankle. And my knee's feeling a little off today. So all these things kind of show up in these really small patterns, everyday patterns that we do, right? Okay, just do a few more. Okay, feeling that right leg kick in, quads, hamstrings, glutes are all working. Okay, Next time your left heel is down, we'll pause. Good, really straighten the back leg as best as you can, feeling a nice little calf stretch here. Maybe tailbone and pelvis are just like slightly tucked under. Go, we'll lift the heel up and down, keeping the toes on the ground, just nice and slow. 4, 5 more, 6, 7, get back leg straight, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Lower down and then start back into mountain pose. Rolling the shoulders, palms face forward. Good. Inhaling, arms reach up towards the sky. Good. Exhaling, let's fold forward. Nice big forward fold. Again, you can kind of climb down if you need to. Good. And remember, you can always have your forearms on your quads. If that feels like a better forward fold for you.
Really nice, everybody.
Okay, I'm going to shift a little bit from side to side because that feels really good on my hips. Okay, great. Okay, nothing fancy again. Okay, we're literally just going to lower down, making our way into tabletop. Okay, so just lower your knees down. Okay, actually, let's come into child's pose. Big toes together, knees out nice and wide, just so we can experience that child's pose that we did on our back. Now, on our knees, okay? So big toes together, knees out nice and wide. Hands can be under your forehead as a little pillow here. Lengthening the spine. Letting the breath go. Okay, awesome. Okay. From here, we're going to rise on up. Okay, we're going to make our way into pigeon pose on the right side. Okay, so right knee, coming straight from like where our tabletop is. Okay, right knee is just going to come towards your right wrist and ankle, and then you may have to straighten the back leg to move the right foot in a little bit. We'll bump the hips back. All right, and then we'll take our time. We'll slowly just lower down in pigeon. And I don't know about you all, but my like right glute is on fire from that balancing little sequence. So I'm really feeling this stretch right in the right glute. Okay. I hope it's the same for you all. Okay. Let go of your breath. Find softness. Check in with your mind. Notice if it's wanting to start to wander a little bit. Can you tune in and focus back in on your breath? Check in with like what you're experiencing in this moment, how your body is feeling, any sensations. And that can even be, I'm like right next to the radiator, so I'm feeling like a lot of heat coming from this top area of my mat. And then this side of my mat is cool. So I'm feeling different textures of the air. Right? It's all part of our practice, even these other elements outside of our body that is still part of our practice. So just being aware of all of that. Okay, great, y'all. Okay, so go ahead and walk your hands in. Very mindfully, we're gonna lean over to the right. Be mindful of both your knees, okay, especially that left leg. Okay, we're gonna swing this left leg around, okay. And left leg's going to stretch towards the top of the mat. So now we're gonna be a little bit more square here, okay? So hips, are forward here, okay, versus the stretch that we did earlier when we were a little bit more open when we did the side body stretch, okay? So we're gonna stay true to facing forward, okay? Arms can be out in front of you, okay? Arms can be up over your head, okay? All we're gonna do in this nice long flat back, okay, is we're gonna reach forward towards the left leg, okay? And notice when you're like, if you want to start rounding, okay, and just back off, and we're gonna just pulse like that. So we're gonna come back to neutral, and then we're gonna reach forward again, nice long flat back, and then come back up. And again, whatever arms feel better for you, out in front of you, up over your head. Hands can be behind the head. So we're using this as a hamstring strengthener and a hamstring opener. Okay. So we're also using our leg to help lift us back up. Okay, so again, lots of things to think about. My left foot is flexed. Okay, really thinking about my spine, not rounding. Really focusing on that. Okay. Going slow. Okay, even though it kind of feels like I'm kind of moving through this, okay, but I'm not like bouncing or pulsing. I'm using that control. And that's what I really mean by like moving slowly, right? It's like just feeling that control when you come back up and also when you lower down. Okay. Okay. Let's just do a few more just like that, feeling that strength of the hamstring, strength of the core, strength of the back. You may feel this a lot in the back. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and wherever you're at when you fold forward, be there, let your hands go. Okay, you can stay here, or this right hand can come to the outside of the left leg. Okay, and you can start to kind of spiral a little bit and lengthen. Okay, and then I'm really thinking about flexing through this foot. So this is where a strap could come in handy if you want to use your strap so that your foot stays really flexed. So we're really stretching the calf also. So again, you can grab your strap for this stretch, or you can use your hand to kind of help flex your foot back. Okay. Wherever you're at is fine. Good. We're gonna hold here. The hamstring stretch. Breathe. Okay. And again, you're welcome to stay here, okay? Or if you'd like to come into the full posture, this is where the translation of Janu Shastra is head, your head to your knee, okay? So you'll just start to drop your head towards your knee, which most likely your spine will have to round, okay? Just see how that feels versus the flat back version we were just doing, okay? Just breathe a few more moments here. And again, your head does not have to touch the knee, but just like going in that direction, how it changes things. Okay, good. Inhale in. Exhale, let's slowly release. Nice and slow. Use your hands to help lift you up. You can kind of shake out that leg. And then very fancily, we're going to move into pigeon pose on the left side, okay? So, however you want to come into it, swing your legs around, come through tabletop. I'm going to come from the seated position. So I'm going to bend my left leg and I'm just going to swing my right leg around, okay? And then I'm going to prop my hips up, adjust as I need to, making space for this left side pigeon pose, okay? Go ahead and take your time. Slowly settling in. Good for pigeon. a whole lot of movements, very simple movement tonight. Again, just a way for us to get grounded. Just, just trying to move a little bit differently than what we're used to, undoing what we've done to our bodies for the day or for the week. Yeah. Keeping it simple. Okay, good. We're about halfway in our pigeon. So taking even deeper breath here, releasing any tension in the face, the forehead, the brow. Okay, really nice, everyone. We'll slowly start to walk our hands in. Okay, again, we'll lean over to the left to gently swing this right leg around. Okay, setting up here, the left sole of my foot's on the inside of my right inner thigh. I'm seeing it nice and tall on my sit bones. Okay, and again, arms can be wherever you like. Okay, nice long spine. Good, my right foot is flexed. Okay, and then I'm just hinging at the hips and then rising back up and just moving in and out of this. Nice and gentle. I already noticed a huge difference in my sides here. I feel this one a little bit in my low back. Okay. So I'm just going to change how far down I go. So maybe I don't go as far down. And again, anything you want to do with your arms, okay, that's going to help you keep and maintain that flat back. Thinking about the strength of your hamstring, lengthening, right? And then as you pull up, you got to use your legs, right? You got to use your core to help lift you. It's the strength and the power of our legs. So our flexibility isn't always about holding our posture and, moving into the splits or anything, right? Like we got to find a lot of the strength in our yoga practice. And that's when it becomes really useful. We have that strength and that power behind our flexibility. I didn't really talk about this on the other side, but I do have my right quad, pretty active. Okay, so just notice it on this side. Okay, and we'll do this exercise again, but just kind of notice like, is my quad relaxed? How does that feel versus my kneecap is lifted and I'm using that quad muscle? What feels different? Okay. All right. The next time we're forward, we'll pause. Okay. We'll release the arms. Good. We'll stay here. And again, in that flat back, so the arms kind of help reassure that nice long spine. Left hand can come to the outside of the right leg. Keep that right foot flexed. And again, this is where you can use that strap if this starts to become a little difficult for you, to keep the foot flexed. Use the strap, lengthen the spine, and start to fold a little bit deeper. Okay, or you can use your hand to kind of pull the foot back also. Okay, a little twist, a little forward fold, little calf action, a little hamstring action. And again, you're welcome to stay here, or you can start to drop your forehead down towards your knee. Okay, and again, when you do that, your spine rounds and the stretch changes. Yeah, look at your hamstring on this side. Okay, thanks everyone. Let's slowly raise on up. Let's release. We'll shake that leg out. We'll extend both legs forwards. And again, you kind of do like a little bouncy bounce, bending and straightening the legs, and then a little wag, rotating externally and internally, just back and forth, just clearing out the hip sockets. Okay. Okay, great. And then we'll make our way onto our backs. Okay. As you roll down, let's go and come back into that child's pose on our back. Variation of happy baby pose. Okay, so big toes together, knees out nice and wide, and then we'll sweep the arms behind the legs. And again, if you can interlace your hands, awesome. If not, you can grab behind the knees. Good. We'll just come into this nice child's pose on the back. Good. Keep lengthening the tailbone down towards the earth. Good. And just notice how your hips feel now versus the beginning of class. Okay. Good. And then we'll slowly just release the legs down. Okay. Straighten the legs out, palms up towards the sky, or hands can stay connected to your ribs. Okay, and then again, just gonna come back into this weightedness on the mat. Notice which parts of your body are touching the mat, which parts are lifted. Where is there space? Where is there weight or heaviness, lightness? Can you notice the textures your body's feeling, like a long sleeve shirt or a t-shirt, the floor, a pet, maybe the plant next to you or a couch, right? Just notice all those things surrounding you also. It's the space. Gently start to shift your head from side to side. Maybe even nod your chin into your chest, shaking your head. Yes, just a little bit. It's pretty small. You can go in and out of yes and no. The no will definitely be bigger than the yes. Okay, and then we'll start to circle the ankles and circle the wrists a few times.
Stretching the arms up over your head, bringing your legs together, big toes touch, one nice long line of energy. Again, is like our mountain pose, right? And then slowly hug the knees in, roll over onto your side. And then we'll slowly come on up to a seated position. Okay, again, sitting on your props. I'm going to sit on a block here to finish up. And just roll the shoulders back just a few times. And actually, let's lift one shoulder up and then opposite, and then one shoulder down. Just go back and forth a little bit here. Good. And then we'll even isolate this way, one shoulder forward, one shoulder back. Okay. Just kind of going back and forth a little bit. Oh, this feels good. We might have to do a little bit of this next week. Okay, good. And then we'll go ahead and end with rolling the shoulders back. We'll bring our palms together at our heart center. Take a nice big deep inhale in through your nose. Big exhale out through your mouth. And slowly just begin to smile in honor of your practice. Namaste, everyone.